Hey everybody. It's been a while since I streamed. Kind of had to relearn how to do things. So sorry for the late start. Let's see here. How's everybody doing? Nice and ready. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Hope everybody's having a good Friday. See, we got Joseph Neal, Sean Weiland, happy Friday, and New Batman, yo, yo, yo. All right, well, we got here a couple, let me see if I can position these, couple PS1s. Let's see here, oh yeah, so that's actually one of the things I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be recapping both of them, because I know at least one of them, that's gonna solve the issue, but these are both not working. We'll just wait for a few more folks to show up and then we'll get started. See, Jack the Bomb. I still need to recut my PS1. Mine is near mint condition along with the LCD screen. I do wish I had the LCD screen. That is a really cool add-on. I wish modders would make a modern IPS drop-in replacement. That would be pretty cool. And then we got Marcus Gurley. What'd it do, Tito? Hey, not too much. Just ready to refurbish these PS1s. I actually cleaned both of these. Actually, I think just the other day, yesterday, kind of tore them down. I usually clean them on stream, but I just couldn't wait. And these were pretty dirty. This one here was more dirty. Actually, the little rubber feet were completely disintegrated, so I removed them. We got Chills01. Morning all from Australia. Good morning. Yeah, where's everybody watching from? So we got Australia. Where else is everybody tuning in from? Let's see. All right, we got Joseph from the UK. Marcus from Texas, very cool. Another Mark, oh, so we got two Marcuses. Marcus Croy and Marcus Gurley. Marcus Gurley from Atlanta, Georgia. I'm assuming it's Atlanta, Georgia. All right. Jake the Bomb, one thing to note, the external power supply is known to fail. So actually just got, I don't know if we're probably supposed to do this or not, but I think the PS2, I was looking this up, I was using a PS2 Slim power supply to test these. That outputs, I think, 8 volts, and the regular PS1 is like 7.5 volts or something. So it worked. I wouldn't recommend doing that, but hey, we got Ghost Pripyat from the Ukraine. All right, welcome, welcome. But I did get you can see it here, at least the connector end of it, but this is the PSOne Slim power supply, and it does work. I tested it, but I just bought this on eBay, and it actually just came today, which is perfect. Oh, 8.5. Yeah, so, yeah, this is meant to run on, let's see here. Yeah, 7.5, and the PS2 Slim is 8.5, so it's a little bit high. I just did it for testing just to see if these work. Both don't work. They have different issues. But yeah, so. All right, well, I think that's enough time. Let's get things started here. So, okay. So, all right, we got these two PS1 Slims. Let's go ahead and test them. Basically, one doesn't have video. It turns on. I have audio. And the other one doesn't turn on at all. So let's see which one is which, and I'm hoping that it's just a matter of doing a recap. I'm going to do a recap on both no matter what. I know the recap will probably fix the video issue because that's a pretty well-known issue. And plug this in. And let me see, this is the one that powers on. Okay, so this is the one that doesn't power on. So it's plugged in, as you can see. Let me go on over to my capture card. So if I turn this on, nothing happens. But I was messing around with it a little bit. If I push down on this, or push up maybe. Oh, okay, maybe, ooh. This on? Let's see here. Okay, there it goes. Yeah, you can kind of see how the green, oh, so it turns on. I didn't check if this outputs video. So that'll be, oh, this one does output video. Okay, so this just has, I think, probably like a bad solder joint. Yeah, okay, so this works. Okay, so this one works. But as soon as I let go, it powers off. So that might be just a matter of, you know, reflowing some solder on that power connector. Now the other one, and I'm actually, I don't know, are you guys getting audio from, let's see, from my capture card? So let's see here. Let's see. Okay, so let me plug this one in. And you'll see that this one does power on, but we don't get video. So you'll hear the audio. But no video. So, hey Dustin, how's it going? And this is on the Twitch chat. So actually that's pretty cool. I can see both chats now. That's fantastic. Oh, my audio. So my audio, that's as loud as it gets. Unfortunately, let me see if I can, yeah, no, that's as loud as it gets. I have the mic turned all the way up on my computer. Oh, from the capture card. Okay, so the capture card, I turned that up really high too. Let me do it again. But if you, let me make sure that's coming through. You guys hearing that? I don't hear it because I don't want there to be like a, oh, and I'm actually, it's weird, I'm getting like some video. Anyway, okay, so let's see here. All right, so this is not doing video. It does turn on. When I had it on my capture card, I did hear audio, so it's obviously working. And I did put a game in, and I could hear the game audio. So I think with a lot of the video issues with these PS1s have to do with like these 3 capacitors near the AV port. I'm actually just going to replace them all because there's not too many. I think there's like 17. So let's go ahead and get that started. Let's see. Twice the volume of your mic. Let's see here. Okay, sorry. Hey, K-Tronics, thanks for the follow. Tito, I've been wanting to ask you, unrelated, the CD Jewel, or the LCD Jewel that you customized for the Proto Xbox, have you ever considered trying to come up with a similar mod for, oh, well, you know, there is somebody, and I did kind of cover their work in my Clear Xbox video. He makes a LCD Jewel for the Xbox, and I actually might do like a different Ultimate like regular OG Xbox build where I do implement that. It's a really cool kit. His name is Dark One Mods. So you can check him out. He sells the kit. He actually makes like a nice little LCD screen or like LCD Jewel for the Duke controller as well. So definitely check him out. Yeah, so he already kind of makes a kit like that for it. So let's see, watching all the way from Southeast Asia. Hey, welcome from Malaysia. Welcome. And let's see here. First PS1 didn't seem to have sound. The second one does. Yes, this one does have sound, but it doesn't have video. Cool. We got another person from the UK. Oh, you're doing your own PS1 repair this weekend. Fantastic. Hopefully this will help you. Let's see here. Oh, the capture is much louder. Okay, let me lower the capture card then. Sorry about that. Really? Okay, yeah, let me turn, I'm going to turn that way down. Okay, so let's get this started. I'm going to start with the one, let's do the one without video first. So that's just going to basically be a recap job. All right, so let's switch the view here. All right, so okay, so for the nice thing with these PS1s, they're really simple to tear down. The power supply is external, so there's no like separate power supply board inside this console. And just holding it is basically just 6 screws. Ooh, these are in there tight. Yeah. Mic is pretty low for me too. Can you put some gain? And so the gain on OBS is as high as it'll go. I mean, I wonder if I can just like put it closer to my. Let's see. Put it a little bit closer to my. I don't know if that's going to help, but. Yeah, so I turned the volume on the capture card lower, so it won't be so jarring. Yeah, I'll have to figure out a way to make my audio louder. Hey, Wesk, how's it going? All right, all right. Let's see here. Hey, Tito, is the PlayStation or PS1 better? I think it comes down to preference. There's probably a few more mods that are available on the fat model, but honestly, I've never owned a PS1 before. These were sent over from another friend of the channel, the Hungry Bartender, and he sent me both of these, and they've been sitting on my shelf for a couple years. I'm finally getting to it, and actually just kind of holding it. I think these are like super cute. I really like the way they look. It's like very early 2000 Sony vibes. So, very cool. Let's see here. Okay. And actually I have a really cool PS1 mod video coming up pretty soon. It was going to be this week, but I'm actually doing something else this week, which is pretty exciting, which I can probably talk about. I think I can talk about it today, yeah. There's like a little embargo on it, but yeah, I can probably, I have it over here on my desk. So, okay. So we got those out. We'll lift this up. Okay, you can see it's nice and clean. I didn't want to bore you guys with. Usually I clean these on the streams, but all right. So this is just the little ribbon cable for the optical drive. Just has like a nice plastic tab. You just pull that out. Holy moly, that's in there super tight. Good Lord. Oh my God, that's really in there tight. Let me take out the power cable. If I can maybe move it a little bit out. Get 2 hands on there. Holy criminy. There we go. Okay, so that came out. Ooh, that was in there really tight. You can see this is super simple, super duper simple. Love it. Okay. Let's see here. Let's see. Oop. All right, so we'll take this top RF shield off. Set that over here. And then this was a little bit tricky. So basically there's like a little tab here that was kind of really high. It's like higher than it needs to be, so it, like the board kind of gets stuck. So the way I kind of figured, if you kind of lift from the back, but then also from here, you can then pull it out nicely. All right, so this is what we're concerned with, and basically, from my understanding, I think it's these three caps right here that are the ones that caused like the video issues. Someone was saying in chat that it could be resistors, maybe. Yeah, so we're gonna take these out. I'm pretty lazy. I mean, they look pretty good. I don't see really. I see maybe the slightest amount of corrosion. Let me see if that'll show up. It just looks very slightly corroded. Yeah, it's not too bad. Actually, now the one thing I do want to look up, because before I start pulling off capacitors, I'm going to go on to the Console 5 website and make sure that the capacitor diagram matches what I have here, because I'm going to pull them all off. Let's see here. Sony PSOne main board, and this is the Slim, and then we're going to go to the PlayStation Wiki, and these are console, and those are schematics. Let me see, what board revision is this? Is it this one? Oh, it doesn't have a capacitor map. Interesting. Okay. I think this is PU. Which? All right. Does anybody know the revision of this? Check the resistors close to the video output. Okay. Let's see here. I see some capacitors. You mean like, let me get my, let's see what I'm seeing. Let's see here. Where's my finger? Ah, here we go. So you're talking about like, let me get my, talking about these components. Ooh, so there's some light here. Are you talking about these right here? These are, you think those are bad? Oh, that would suck if those are bad, because I don't have any replacements for those. Let me see, who said, no, so, oh, hey, Wes, so it's booting, games load, I just get audio, no video, and I was looking it up online, and it looks like these three capacitors are kind of the culprits, but I'm just going to replace all of them. Yeah, I checked the caps. Okay, yeah, we'll do the caps. We'll do the caps first. Does anybody know what revision motherboard this is? I'm trying to find where it would say it on here. I'm looking it up on the Consoles for You website. Oh, okay, so DRNGR from Twitch is saying C550, which is, and C551 Ah, here we go. So these two. He's saying these two right here don't age well. So I think it's these three, really. Ah, PM40. Oh, yeah. Okay, so it says it right there. PM41. Okay. Why don't I see that on console? Did I get the... Oh, I might have gotten, like, the wrong cap kit. I don't think I did. Why isn't the... Oh, yeah, the capacitor list... Oh, wait. No, those are schematics. Hey, guys, I'm having... If someone could point me in the direction of... Oh, actually, these also come with a tantalum. Oh, yeah, PM41. It says it right there on the kit. But I'm on, like, the PSOne wiki, and I don't... let me just... Control F. Control F. PM. Oh, there's no PM51. Okay, so I'm gonna, sorry, PM41. So I'm actually gonna have to do this one by one because I don't wanna mess this up. So, okay, easy enough. Okay. So let me go ahead. And we'll just do them. You know, it's interesting. So, and I don't know if anybody knows the history sort of behind this, but if you go on the Console 5 website, basically new for 2026, all these cap kits for the PSOne, I think maybe for a few others, it says these kits now include a 10 microfarad tantalum cap to replace the ultra small 3mm ones, which I'm assuming he means are these right here, these like really narrow ones. So I don't know if that's an issue, but yeah, so these I guess are now tantalum capacitors. And then actually interesting, so for tantalum capacitors, polarity does matter apparently, so okay. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to do this one by one. So, and there's not too many capacitors here, so okay, we got those. We got this one, that one, and these are all. If you look here, you can kind of see these are, okay, so this is a 224 volt, 100 microfarad, 6.3. So I need two 220s, which are these, I'm assuming. These are the 220s. Let me make sure there's no other 220. So this is a 100. And these are also 100. These are 47, and these are those tantalums right here that the kit now has apparently. So, okay, easy enough. So I'm going to go ahead and remove these two. I'm going to do it the lazy way because these pads don't look too bad. I don't think I'm going to tear them out. So the way I sort of take care of these is, I mean, the best way would be, you know, hot air or something. I do have the tweezers, but I would have to like apply solder and then heat it. It's just, this is just be much faster. So I'm going to show you the way that I do this. Let me get the chat back up. Let's see. All right, so, all right. Let's see here. Okay, so the way I usually do it is you never want to have any upward pressure because you don't want to put any like pulling force on the pads. So, and I always cut parallel to the pads. So basically I have a pad, so let me just zoom in. That's as much as I can zoom in, but essentially there's a pad here and a pad here. So I'm going to basically cut along this line. And while I do it, I like to kind of push a little bit, not too much force, but push down with my finger. So hopefully I don't mess this up. Wow, that'd be really bad, but there we go. Cut that out. And then, let me get that in the middle. And then you just basically peel that off. And then you may need a trim. And then you can pull off the base. And it does look like it did leak a little bit. So yeah, but that wasn't too bad. So let's go ahead and do the same thing for this one here. Okay. Okay, and then we had basically the negative was facing this way. Yeah, actually, so these do kind of look like they leaked a little bit. Okay, so the way I'm going to now do this is, let me get some tweezers. And there's some residual there. And I'm going to clean that up a little bit. Yeah, this might have been the culprit for sure. All right, so that's just like an initial cleaning, and then what I'm going to do is just, there's going to be this is my fume extractor, so bear with me. And I'm just going to add a little bit of solder. And we're going to kind of whisk away. And what I'll do is, so you can get a better look, I'm going to put my macro lens in. So the screen's going to go white for a second while I change my lens. And this way you can get a good kind of glimpse at what I'm doing. Get you in there a little bit closer. Okay. All right, so basically I have these residual legs on these pads. We're gonna whisk them away with solder, some fresh solder. Okay, so that's one leg off. Another leg off. And be careful with these plastic components here. You don't want to melt them. Okay, got the other residual leg off. And the last one. All right, so now that those are off, we can give it a slightly better clean, because usually the rough edges on the leg really catches the Q-tip. But now that those are gone, we can get rid of all that electrolytic fluid. And yeah, you can see how dirty this is. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. All right, let's go back here. And then what I like to do, just to be extra thorough, is clean it up with some solder wick. I might put just a little drop of flux on there, make it a little bit easier. But yeah, so, and this is just going to give us very nice, fresh pads. Beautiful, clean, fresh pads. Let me clear out just a little bit more. Okay. And then let's give that one last clean. And that is essentially a good kind of base to work from to install our new capacitors. So what I think I'm going to do, just to keep things simple, I might actually remove this one as well. So let me get the two replacements. So we're going to put two 20s in there, two 220s. Actually, because this is cut this way, I'm going to put these in first because I really don't want to forget. All right, so what I like to do is I'll put just a little bit of solder there. I'm actually going to do this one first. Okay. All right, so this is my 220. All right. And you know what I might do is actually be interesting to see if this, just doing this fixes the issue. But let's go ahead and let's go and put that in place. I'm just positioning it so it's easy for me, but I also want you to be able to see it. So we're putting that one in right there. And let me go ahead and do that so you can see the pad. There we go. Okay. So let's go ahead and put that in nice and straight. And really it's just a matter of positioning it, and you just got to heat the pad. And what I might do is put a little bit of flux there, make it go a little bit easy, just a drop. And I want that to be as straight as possible. And oops, you don't even need to touch it really. But what I'll do is I'll just go ahead and do that. I'll kind of hold it down with, and basically I'm touching the pad and the leg. And as you can see, that is on there now. So with that, I'm going to put solder on the other leg. Okay. That's just a matter of heating the pad and heating the leg at the same time. Okay, we got that. And then I'm going to go back on the other side and put a little bit more. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a fully installed capacitor. Okay? Good. That's one. And then we got to put the other 220 in there. And the nice thing is on the silk screening, you can actually match it up to the footprint of the capacitor, so that's just another really nice way to easily tell the orientation. So I'm just going to do the same thing. Let me get my tweezers. I'm going to place that nice and centered. Perfect. Okay. We do the same thing. We're just going to touch the pad in the leg, and that residual fresh solder we put in there will come together very nicely. Okay, you can see, and then give it a little tap to make sure it has good contact, which it does. And then, just heard something on my computer. Can you guys still hear me? Okay. There we go. And we got a solid joint there. Something disconnected on my computer. Hopefully that wasn't my microphone. Let me see. Okay, yeah, my camera's still working. Okay. Cool. All right, so my AC is running. It's actually kind of cold in here. Hold on one second. I'll be right back. Turn off my air conditioning. And I'm also going to grab my trash can to throw away all the old capacitors. Let's see if that went ahead and fixed the issue. I'm curious if just those two were the issue. So I'm just going to plug this in. Let me go ahead and switch to the retro tank. Let me get all this out of the way. All right, let's see if this actually does it. That would be really cool. If it was literally just this. Those two capacitors did look like they were leaking, so I'm going to plug in a controller. Actually, I wonder if this will even power on without the... It should power on without the drive. I imagine it will. But let's give it a go. Plug in the video. sure there's nothing underneath that could potentially short. Nope. Good. And we'll plug that in. And let's turn it on. Hey. Easy peasy. I think I'm going to replace all the capacitors since we're already in here, but we now have a fully working PSOne. Basically, it was just those two capacitors that were bad. Just that simple. Okay, so let's go ahead and I'm just going to kind of go quickly through this, and I'll try to be cognizant of chat, answer your questions if you have any. All right, let's see. Unplug that. Cool. Yeah, I actually really like these PSOne Slims. They're really neat. I feel like this would pair really nicely with like one of those really small like PVMs. All right, so next let's go ahead and do, I'm gonna try and mark, this is like another strategy I use for, let's go side table, or we'll do overhead. Let's do overhead this time. All right, so what I'm gonna try to do is I like to group the capacitors. So according to the set, all right, let me clean up my workstation here a little bit. According to the set, it looks like we got 4 100 microfarad capacitors, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to mark those here, and I'm going to that might not be a good approach because there's a pretty tight cluster here. I'm just going to go ahead and do little clusters here. So I think these are the tantalum capacitors. Are going to let me zoom in more. So I can't really zoom in too much with this one, unfortunately. But I think these come on, these tantalum capacitors here, these go in place of these really small ones, and there's 3 of them here, and these appear to be 10 microfarad. Is that what these tantalums are? These tantalums are 10 microfarad. Okay, so that's going to replace these. These appear to be 10. That's a 10. That's a 10, and that's a 10. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I actually might do those. Yeah, and then we have 6 is what they provided. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so we got them. Let me just make sure I got that right. So yeah, 10. That's a 10. That's a 10. That's a 10. That's a 22. That's a 10. Okay. Sorry, that's a 10. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to do this group of 3 right here. And let me see here. So positive is denoted, it's the opposite of these lines here, but it's also where the capacitor kind of has the angle on the front. So, okay, so if we have that in mind, we're good because we can see that indeed the silk screening shows that. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove these really quick. Again, I'm going parallel to the pads when I do this. So it's going to be interesting. So basically we're going to be going from like a barrel aluminum type capacitor to a tantalum. So that'll be interesting. Okay. Now this is a 100. Okay, so this is a 100 6.3, which, okay, so that's interesting. We got we got these two, these are 116s. And, you know, I'm a little confused here. So these are slightly smaller. So there's 3 of those, 100. This kind of annoys me a little bit. All right, so we got the 47s. So that's clearly different. And these are 22s. Hopefully none of these are, okay, so simply, Yeah, that's a 47. Okay. So the hundreds just replace the hundreds. So we got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. And it's interesting. It's a little confusing because they're different size. Like this is a larger barrel than these. But the one they provide in the kit are all the same size. So that's something you have to be careful of because with the Console 5 kits, they're great. But sometimes they'll have capacitors that are the same value, but they'll have like different heights. And that's done on purpose because depending on like how like the electronics are stacked inside of a console or something, it may require a short capacitor because there's less space or something. So those are just things you got to keep in mind. But at least it's nice because the only 100 microfarad capacitors, there's only 3 of them, and they're only giving us 3. So that makes it easy. Okay, so where was I going with that? All right, so basically I'm just going to go ahead and remove this group. This one here, right here is 100. So just have to keep note of that. 100. Remove that. And also remember, guys, you have to use judgment when removing these the way that I'm doing it. These pads look very clean and very strong, so I'm not too worried about ripping off a pad, but and then also be careful because there might be tall components near it. You don't want to accidentally cut a different component, so just be aware. All right. And here I'm just taking off the bottom part of the barrel. This one's giving me a little bit of trouble. I'm just going to maybe just clip it a little bit more. There we go. And sometimes you need to clip the tops so that you can remove the little plastic base. And then you can just grab the base and it should come right off. There we go. Actually, these were all leaking. Huh. Interesting. Oh, wow, look at that. Yeah, that was really leaking. Okay, so I'm going to take my dirty Q-tip because I don't want to waste all mine, and I'm just going to kind of clean as best as I can. Sorry if I'm let's see. Yeah, I'm going to do my best to read the chat here. I don't understand where you get the idea that the polarity doesn't matter. Oh, well, yeah, so I've never replaced capacitor with tantalum ones before, at least not that I'm aware of. I have done it using regular ceramic ones, which polarity doesn't matter with those. And they look similar, which is kind of the only reason why I brought it up. And then obviously with like these regular electrolytics, the polarity matters. So tantalum capacitors, polarity matters. And let's see here, how is polarity marked on these? It says here, it says positive side. I guess there's I don't really see a line on this. Tantalum, the bar is positive. Am I just blind? Here, do y'all see a bar on this? Let me see here. Put this in focus. I mean, they look kind of cement. Wait, let me see. Is it on? Is it maybe, so there's like a little U on this side, and this side it's more of a solid. Is that what they're talking about? I've never installed these kind of tantalums before, and it looks like it's something that, oh, it's on the other side. Okay, here. Yeah, I can kind of see a line on, on this side here. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. I gotcha. So I'm looking at this is the bottom. This is what's going to go onto the pads. No, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Got it. Okay. Whew. Cool. Okay. All right, so we clean those. Let me turn my fume extractor back on. And let's remove these legs. Make sure you can see what I'm doing here. Put it more in the middle. There we go. And I'm basically just removing the residual capacitor legs here. That's all I'm doing. Let me see here. We got oh hey, Gustavo. Wow, thank you for the super chat. Hey man, how's it going? Love your content. Cheers from Mexico. Thank you, sir. Cheers right back. Glad you enjoy the videos. Let's get rid of that. That's giving me, there we go. That was giving me a little bit of a hard time. And then Ziggy says, hey Tito, I'm wondering, since I got a Trinity 360 and I've been soft modding it, should I keep it soft modded or should I hard mod it? Hey, it's completely up to you. Obviously the soft modding is a little bit easier to do, and depending on your experience with modding, obviously you don't want to damage your console, so it depends on your comfort level. But soft modding is great too. Nothing wrong with soft modding. For me, I find it more difficult just because, you know, computer stuff tends to confuse me a little bit, but some people are really savvy with it. Okay, so now we're going to clean up these pads here. Okay. And we're sucking up all the old, and you want to be careful because there are some very tiny, like, components here. You don't want to accidentally remove them, so just want to be very careful. Okay. Guys looking? Okay. Good. And what I like to do, another little trick, I mean, not really a trick, but when I cut the old solder wick, I cut it at an angle because it gets you a nice little point and it makes it easier to reach into certain areas. So like, for example, right here, it's kind of tight, but I can just, boom, look at that. Beautiful. And I'll just kind of cut it at another angle. Here I got more space, but boom. And then here it gets a little bit tighter again. So give it one last clean. And as you can see, those are some beautiful fresh pads ready to be soldered to. Let's do the should we do the tantalums first? Yeah, let's do the tantalums first. Okay, guys, make sure I do this right because let's see here. Yeah, it looks like console console 5 is using, oh yeah, here we go. Yeah, you're right. I do see the bar now very clearly. You can see it right there. Yeah, it's clear as day. Clear as day. Perfect. Cool. All right, so we got to put 3 of them in here. And positive goes basically towards, you can see these little angled parts, so kind of that side right there. So I'm going to put it on the negative side first. So what I'll do is I'll put a little bit of solder, just a little bit, not a whole bunch. Then I'm going to drop that right there. Oh, it fits pretty nicely actually. Okay, so that's right there. And then I'm going to just hold it down with my tweezers, and while I'm applying downward pressure, boom, that's in there nice and solid. And then I'm going to just go ahead and put solder on the other side. And you want to be a little bit careful with your dwell time, because if you heat it up for too long, you could just take it right off, because that heat will transfer to the other leg. And there we go. I'll get you a zoomed in look after I install all 3 of them. And then I'm just going to rinse and repeat. And actually, you may not even need to. What I'm actually going to try here is put that on. Come on. It's fighting me a little bit. Oh, there's a little something sticking up. Is that some solder sticking up? Let's see here. There we go. All right. So what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to put a little bit of flux, and then I'm just going to put a little bit of solder on the tip of my iron. Just a little bit. Let me clean the tip. And I'm going to hold this down and then just touch the pad and the leg of the capacitor. And hey, that worked perfect. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on the other side. Cool. All right, so I think we're good there. All right, so, and then the last one will go right there. So let's see here. Yeah, you could do it that way too. The only problem with that, since this is such a small component, is if it's kind of like at an angle on one side, it'll be hard for you to push it down the other side without putting stress on the other pad. So I don't like really doing it that way. I kind of like doing one side at a time, but that is possible to do it that way. Oop, okay, I moved it. Okay, there we go. Okay, beautiful. All right, so let me show you how that looks. So those are your 3 kind of tantalum capacitors right by the video out installed. And these used to be electrolytics, but for whatever reason, console 5 is replacing them with tantalum. Now, I'm not an electrical engineer, so I know there's like kind of this argument between replacing electrolytics with these other capacitors. I don't know the science behind it. I know it's sort of like preferred to kind of replace it with the same one, but I don't know, maybe somebody in the chat knows a little bit more about it. I'm going to go, and this one here is a 100 microfarad. Oh, hold on a second. Hold on a second, guys. Wait, what is this? Okay. All right, so we got, so that was a 100. So, all right, so I thought that there was, it appears we have two 100. So one is a 16 volt. I'm not sure what this one is. What? This is one thing that kind of confuses me with these surface mounted ones. This doesn't really have a voltage on it. It just says G52. I guess, is that 52 volts? I don't know. But anyway, so we have, oh, maybe it's just for the sizes, because that's a 100. That's 1, 2, 3. Yeah, there's only 3 100 microfarad capacitors. I guess it's, they gave me the 2 sizes, and I have like extras, I guess. That's weird. Has anybody recapped the PSOne Slim with a console 5 kit? Yeah, these are all. Yeah, there's only 3 100 mic. It was this one and then these 2. And like I mentioned before, these 2 are smaller than this one, so that could be the only difference. All right, so that was a 106.3. So that one is marked 106.3. That was the one I removed. So a 16 volt would cover that just fine. But what is this? How many volts is this one? Anybody know? I'm just going to go ahead and put this one in there. So most of the time on the PS1, let's see. Okay, so, well, we'll just, we'll wing it, guys. We're gonna wing it. Sorry, I'm gonna get this not so blurry. That didn't grab. Moved on me a little bit, but we got it. So it's actually pretty tight, actually, this one here, because there's some very small components right by this capacitor. But we got it. Okay. All right, so we got this area taken care of. I think next let's do this area here. So let me clean up all these dead capacitors. All right. See, hey, really appreciate it, Dean. Thank you so much. Would love to you what you could do with a Wii U. Oh yeah, I've been planning to do a Wii U video. I mean, I have so many videos. The one I was gonna do was sort of, I think it was a Voltar mod. He had this like NAND recovery tool. Because apparently some of those NANDs get corrupted and kind of bricks the machine. I think that'd be a pretty cool video. Let me see here. Okay, so I got a 100, 100, and these are the smaller ones, so I'm going to put the smaller ones there, unless somebody tells me otherwise. I mean, it's got to be right. All right, so we got the hundreds there, and then we got a 10. And let me see, so, okay, so these are the hundreds. These are the tantalums over here. And we need a 10. This is 22. 47. Do we need a 47? Yes, we do need a 47. So let me grab a 47. Okay. And then we need a 10. That's a 4750. And this is a 47. Where are the 10? Do I have a 10? Holy, am I going crazy, guys? That's 100. And that's 100. So we got 100, 100, a 47. I got the 47. I need a 22, which is right here. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 5 here. So I got the 22. I don't have a 10. I don't think the kit came with a 10 unless I'm completely, yeah, it's 47, 47. Oh wait, oh is that the, oh that's probably one of, that's, sorry. That's so tantalum goes there. Oh my gosh, sorry guys. That's one of the tantalums, right? So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah, 6. Okay, yeah, so, sorry about that. Okay, I was freaking out there for a second. That's a tantalum. Okay. All right, so I'm going to do the 4716 first. Now, we have quite a few other 47 types. That's a 4716 as well. Ah, that's a 4750. And that's a 47.6.3. Okay, yeah. All right, so a lot of 47s down in that area. All right, so we'll do this one. All right. Confusing the heck out of me here. Let me see. One thing. All right, so I'm going to do the 10 first. Okay. Guys, all these, actually, all the this one's leaking as well. I don't know if you can see that. All these capacitors are leaking. You can see, yeah, see that? See the liquid? Yeah, wow. Okay, so, I mean, yeah, if you have a PSOne, it might be time to replace the capacitors. Yeah, it's interesting. So we'll do the 10 and the 22. So we'll do the 10 and the 22. See how this one's doing. Yeah, I'm not even gonna clean it. I'm gonna first remove the legs. Let's try and move a little bit faster. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the cleaning step last, so let's clear off. Where's my solder wick? There it is. Right there. Then focus. I like to put a little bit of flux before I solder wick. It helps the wick grab all the old solder. Come on. Huh, that was weird. Cut that. And then all right, so that one was 22. Okay, this is why I'm going to do one at a time because I'm going to get confused here. This top one was 10. Let me do that one first. And this bottom one was 22. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right. And this was a 22. Yeah, 22, perfect. So, and these two are 100, so we can just do them both. Just come up. Kind of stuck to the PCB. And that's the, oh, that one was leaking. You can kind of smell the fishiness. Sorry, I was doing that off camera. Sorry about that. Clean off these pads. So we got that one right there, and the other one right there. Okay, so those are both in camera. We've got that leg out. Got that leg out. Hot. Okay. Right. Let's see here. There we go. All right, let's get a fresh Q-tip. We'll clean the residual off these two. Beautiful. And these were both 100s, so we'll install them at the same time. Get a better angle on this one right here. Okay, there we go. Boom. Okay. Yeah, sorry guys, I'm just trying to focus on get this done in a reasonable amount of time. Okay, that's one. Okay, that's good. That's good. And where's the other 100? It's right here. It's also going up. Another thing I like to do is if there's kind of like a restrictive area, like kind of right here, there's like this component right here in front of this capacitor. I like to move the capacitor a little bit back to give me more room in that tight spot. Hello everybody. Yeah, sorry for, let me catch up here. So, I do not have the screen for these PS1s, unfortunately. I wish I did have one. And then there's Joseph. How's it going, Joseph? And then we got Al Mr. Fa, or Al, sorry if I'm mispronouncing, but from Saudi Arabia. Welcome, welcome. Very cool. All right. Let's go ahead and tack this bad boy in place. Get that out of the way. All right. It's gonna be. Ooh. Okay. See, we just. Wow. Okay. Let me put this in, and then I'm going to show you a little boo-boo that I just did. All right, I'm gonna see if I can fix it. Holy Toledo, that's bad. All right, so right here, guys, there is a little tiny component. You can barely see it. It's right, oh, where am I? It's right there, and I knocked it off. It's right here, and I might actually use hot air to put that in, because that's in a tight spot. Let me clean that area up real quick. Okay. I'm hoping that's a resistor because it's not clear what the polarity is. Yeah, that's the one thing with this board. It's extremely tight. Okay. I might have to get my glasses for this. Yeah, I might have to do hot air for that one, guys. So hold on, let me put this capacitor in. Okay, so we are fully in on both sides. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to put hot air on this one, so let's see. Let me put this up to 450 and low airflow. Okay, so that's set. So while that's heating up, let me just get this positioned. I'm going to lower the airflow because I don't want to blow it away. But I think it's pretty much in place, actually. Hold on. I'm going to have to get my little binoculars here. Just got to get that in place. Yeah, it appears to be a resistor, so polarity really shouldn't matter. Okay, and then let me go ahead and put a little bit of flux. Okay, and we're back. All right, so it's back in, guys. That was easy. Whoo! Wow. Yeah, so you got to be careful, especially with these kind of boards right here. I'll show you how I did that. But it's a very, very cramped board. So let me show you the component. I'm going to get as close as I can here. So the component that I knocked off was, all right, let me see here. It was right, I'm going to point to it with my little spudger here. Was that one right? Hold on. This one right here. It's to the, what is that? To the right of my spudger. You see that? I knocked that off. I knocked that off while I was trying to solder in this leg of the capacitor. It doesn't take much. They're very small. So you got to be real careful, guys. I just used hot air to get that back on. You just kind of put it in place. It's so small that it just takes a little bit of hot air. And and it's good to go. See, that's on there, nice. So, but anywho, okay. So we put on, let me see, we have one more capacitor we need to put in this area, which is this one right here. Right there, it's a 4716. Not too many small components around it, so we should be okay. A little bit of a scare we had, but that's okay. We worked through it. All right. Make sure you don't damage anything. There we go. Fantastic. And that should just pop right up. Boom. Go ahead and remove the legs. Just removing the old residual legs. And here we're going to remove the residual old solder. Let me clean, get a fresh solder wick. Okay, beautiful. And we're going to give it a nice thorough cleaning, because that capacitor, yeah, these capacitors aren't that good, guys. It's kind of crazy. I think pretty much every single one we ran into was leaking. Oops. Let's go ahead and put this one in. It's going to be a pretty, there's not that much pad on this. That's interesting. I might actually put solder a little bit on both. Yeah, there's not too much pad. This capacitor is a little bit, not that it's too big, but it's a little bit too wide, and it kind of doesn't leave too much of the pad exposed, which is a little bit annoying, but that's okay. We'll make it work. So we got that side. Oh, nope, we didn't get that side. Thought we did. Okay, we got that side. We got Alright, so I think we got this one. Okay. That's in there nice and good. Alright, so we took care of these. We took care of these. Now we're going to move down to sort of like this last area right here, this little cluster right here. And let me clean my workstation up real quick. Got crap everywhere. Or a bunch of old capacitors. Let me just run them through, so I kind of show you what we're dealing with here. So we just basically, these are all some of the old capacitors. Just gonna toss this into the garbage. Okay, so let's replace these four right here. So we got another 4716. And now this is trash. And then we got a 47 6.3. which I'm assuming is going to be this one. Oops, I hit my light. This says 47.6, but I don't know why they just didn't give me another, I guess maybe because of the size. And then this is another 47, which goes there, so I'm not going to do that one just yet. So 220, we got a 220. Okay, that's done. And we got another 10. Oh, so that's the tantalum. Okay, so we got a tantalum 220. All right, so we got our little 4 right here. Actually, the other, well, okay, I'm not going to keep that over there because I'm going to do this 47 last. All right, so this is a pretty tight area. This is going to be, I might go a little silent here while I kind of focus on these because I don't want to knock another component off on accident. So let's go ahead and give that a shot. I'm going to do this 47, yeah. All right, how am I going to tackle this? Because I need to remember, let me see, do I have a piece of paper? Yeah, this would be good for, let me see. You know, that's strange. I don't have, I got a pen. Oh, I do have a pad of paper. Here we go. Perfect. I'm going to draw a little diagram. All right, so basically we got that. So this is my 4716 volt. This is a 6.3 volt. This is the 220. And this is a 10. That's our tantalum. So basically I just drew a little picture and I'm going to put the little something to orient me. This is the power switch. All right, so basically now I have a little diagram so that I'm actually just going to remove all of these now at once and then replace them all at once. Okay. Oh, there's no, so yeah, sorry. So I see Zane Glorious. I knocked that. That was just me being careless. I probably could have very easily avoided this, you know, if I wasn't streaming. Obviously, I'm a little distracted. I'm not like completely focused. If you're completely focused, you'll do a little bit better. But I'm like trying to do this, trying to read chat a little bit. So yeah, that was an easily avoidable mistake. That little component that I knocked off. But if you are like a novice, then yeah, you may want to reconsider. I'm going to clean that area a little bit. Yeah, perfect. But anywho, okay, so let's go ahead and let's get these done. Get that in focus for you. Yeah, guys, every single one of these caps has leaked. That is crazy. I mean, it's clear as day. Look at the, I mean, look at them. Now, I wonder if, so I think, you know, these PS1s that were sent to me, I'm pretty sure they were, you know, stored in a not like temperature controlled environment. So I have a feeling that's partly why they were kind of leaking. They were just maybe exposed to extreme heat, extreme cold, and just over time. So I don't know if this is like typical. Excuse me. But yeah, these caps are bad. Every single one of them. All right, so now, excuse me. Let's go ahead and clean up all the legs. Yeah, there are some tiny components near this one. Just got to be careful. I don't know, something got stuck in my throat here. Coughing. Yeah, this one that leaked, yeah, the solder, I might need to clean it a little bit because, okay, there we go. I was able to get the leg off. Sometimes the electrolytic fluid just doesn't let the solder wet very well, which is kind of a pain in the neck. That's kind of what was happening there. And I'm taking a little bit of a shortcut. Usually I would clean the area just a little bit. Which would make removing the legs just a little bit easier. But I'm trying to go a little bit quickly here. Excuse me. All right, let's try and give them a little preliminary clean. It'll probably make removing the, yeah, I mean, look at that, so dirty. Look, I mean, look at that. Look at that Q-tip, completely saturated. That's looking better already. Let's go ahead and remove all that old residual solder. So I'm going to try and go in a little row here. So I'm going to do this one here because this is by a small component. I don't want to mess that up. Okay, there we go. That Q-tip is totally done. Running out of Q-tips here, guys. I might need to... Do I have more? Oh, I do. I do have more. Okay, so I'm good. Okay. So that one was a 10, I think, right? Yes. Okay, so that should be easy because that's going to be a tantalum, and as you can see, there's a tiny capacitor right in front of it, so I want to make sure I don't touch that. Okay, so let's make sure we get the polarity right here. So I'm actually going to space that a little bit backwards away from that little capacitor, just so it gives me ample room, so I'm not going to basically knock this little capacitor off. So that's the last thing I want to do. Okay. And I'm actually going to just put a little bit of solder on my iron. Man, excuse me. Okay, that worked out pretty well. So that's in there, nice. And then I'm gonna put some in the other side. Oh, actually, holy crap, I did not. That was not in there. Let's try that again. There we go. There we go. Okay, that's in there nice and solid. And let me just, refer to my diagram again. So this next one up is the 220. Okay. Okay, that's in there. Yeah, that's a really tight area. There's like a component right there that's kind of just really blocking. Yeah, this is pretty tight, so. Okay. Oh, Gumbos, how is the Xbox prototype going? Still going strong? It's still going. Obviously, if you're talking about the 3D files, it slowed down quite a bit, but there's a few people who are interested in it. So, yeah, I mean, I think they're going pretty good. So, yeah, hey, if you want to 3D print your own Xbox prototype, check out nachoengineering.com. All right, so this one is the 47 6.3. So that's the smaller one. I think I'm going to try putting the front first because I'll have a little bit. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pre-tin. Why is that sticking there? There we go. I'm going to pre-tin the pad. Put a little bit of flux, and then drop it on. Okay, that should give me enough room. Yep, got it. Oh, can you guys see that? Okay, sorry. Got it? Good. Clean up some of that residual flux. And the last one is the 4716. And that goes right here. Yeah, one thing I'm noticing with this board, the pads for the capacitor, you don't get a whole ton of room. I mean, some of them are fine, but some of the capacitors are a little bit tricky to install because not a lot of the pad is exposed. which, you know. There we go. That side, so I can keep it. There we go. Very nice. Fantastic. Okay. I think just 2 more capacitors and we are done. It's these 2 right here. So that is a 47, which I think it's this last one right here. Yeah, a 50. Yeah, I guess that's, was that 0.47? Oh yeah, 0.47. And this is 0.47. Let me make sure I didn't, yeah, so that's 47, that's 47, and that's 47. And that is definitely 0.47. Okay. Okay. Yep, even this one was leaking. Golly, that's crazy. And then this one is 10. The last tantalum. Okay, making moves, guys. We're making moves. Are there any other consoles that you want to add to your collection? Been watching your channel for a long time, and it seems like you have everything. There is a couple. I do have most of what I want. Actually, when I have a video coming out about this, but when I went to Japan, I was able to pick up one of the consoles I really wanted. I've been hunting for it for a while. I actually found it before I went to Japan, and I just, when I went over there, I picked it up because it's kind of a big one. So, but yeah, okay. Let me, before I forget, I'm going to put the 10 in first before I forget, because I don't want to mix these 2 up. This is the 10. Really not too many of the small components here, so that's good. And we got the last tantalum. Positive goes to that side, just like that. Almost done, guys. We're almost done with this one. Got a whole nother one to go. And then the last one is this 0.47, not 47. Hopefully this thing doesn't blow up in my face, because there were some very confusing capacitors in here. And I just want to make sure, hopefully I didn't mix any up. I don't think I did, and plus I also knocked out that one small component, which I was able to solder back in place. Hopefully the polarity didn't matter. I think it was a resistor, so should be okay. So that's trash, that's trash. And this is the last one, right? 0.47, yep, 0.47. Oops. Wait, can you guys see what I'm doing? Here, sorry about that. Put that capacitor in there like that. There we go. Now it's interesting, even this capacitor doesn't even have the negative mark on it. That's interesting, but at least the base, you can tell the polarity. Okay, that's in there. Okay, I think we are pretty much done. That's it. Okay, so also kind of weird, we got quite a few leftover capacitors here. I don't know, maybe there's like different revisions of the board. I mean, I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, I got 5 capacitors left. But clearly we replaced everything, so don't know what that's all about, but we'll hold on to them. And I'm going to clear the bench a little bit. Let me turn off my fume extractor. All right, so we're pretty much done. Let me put my other lens on so you can see the bench. Okay. Throw all the old capacitors out. Let's do a quick test. Hopefully, guys, fingers crossed that this works. Let me plug the controller in. Actually, let me go to the capture. All right, so let's plug in this controller. Let's plug in the AV. And let's plug in the power. Now, hopefully this thing doesn't smoke in my face. But all right. Okay, we're plugged in. So far, that's fine. Uh-oh. Oh yeah, we're not getting power, guys. Hold on a second. Ooh, that's bad. Okay, hold on a second. Why aren't we getting power? Did I just mess this up? Let me make sure the polarity of everything is correct. Yeah, polarity's good. Polarity's good, polarity's good. Polarity is good, 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 good. That's good. Good, 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 good. Okay, hold on a second. Yeah, that's weird. Let me try it again. Yeah, we aren't getting power, guys. Okay, I wonder if that component I reinstalled, is not fully installed correctly. Or maybe the polarity was messed up. Yeah, that's fine. That's good. Interesting. I didn't miss soldering any of the points. Okay. Let me reflow because, oh, hold on a second. Oop, let me turn my fume extractor on. Huh, guys, we may have an issue here. Let's see if we can fix it. Okay, that's good. That's nice. Okay, so it's probably nothing to do with a bad solder joint here. I don't know why it would, but let's see if is this plugged in? Make sure this is, first of all, make sure this is plugged in. It is plugged in. Okay, yeah, we're not getting power. I'm gonna touch up this area right here. Where that one component came off. I'm gonna put some flux there. And I'm gonna run it under just a little bit of heat. Make sure everything is nice and seated there. Let this heat up. All right, let me switch my angle here. Side, okay. So when I was installing this capacitor right here, I knocked off one of the other components. I'm just gonna reflow it with, I put some flux on there, some tacky flux. I'm gonna let this heat up and I'm gonna reheat that area just to make sure everything is, you know, has a good solid joint. So. Okay. Let's try that real quick. All right, we are at temperature. Okay, everything looks good there. What I might do, if this doesn't work, I might take that component off again and switch the polarity. I can't believe that would be it. That would be crazy. But let's see if that did the trick. Let me clean the area. So. Oh my God, thank God. Just had to reflow it. Okay, woo! I was like, my goodness, what could cause the issue? Okay, let me clean that area a little bit better. Get rid of all that sticky flux. Yeah, so definitely got to be careful. Yeah, there's a ton of tiny components on this, I guess, as they make the board smaller, so. Anyway, all right, now let's give this a test. Come on. Grabbing the controller. There we go. All right, now let's go back to the capture card. Oop. There we go. Okay, capture, video, and then that. Okay, now. Ooh, that's not good. Oh, that looks really weird. That looks worse. I mean, it's working, but that looks worse than the than it did before, right? It was like too washed out. Did y'all see that? I will here. I mean, it's got better. Let me turn it off and turn it back on again. Okay, it looks good now. I wonder if that's just like the new capacitors settling in. I don't know if that's a thing. But okay, I mean, it's working. That's what matters, I guess. Yeah, that was weird. I mean, y'all, yeah, you saw the washed out. It doesn't look washed out now, but let's. I wonder. I've never had that happen before. Interesting, interesting. Yeah, it's not doing it now, that weird gray. Yeah, now it looks fine. Okay. Huh, that was really weird. Okay, so let's put it back together, and we're going to try a game. All right, let me switch back. Side table. Okay. I'm going to do just a little cleanup of the board. Like, you know, I don't like these kind of residual marks. Just clean with a little bit of IPA on a Kimtech wipe. Just pick up any dust and flux and all that stuff. Cool. All right, so simple reassembly. So I'll do it from the top. Let's do the top here. So very simple reassembly. Put that away. There we go. Okay, and then this just goes like so. That's in there. This goes right on top. Okay, I think that's on there as good as it's going to get. And then the optical drive. And oh, and I saw Wes goes in there. Actually, guys, I saw Wes while I was over in Japan, so it was cool meeting him in person. Yeah, I'll have Japan videos out hopefully in the next couple weeks. I got to get caught up on my backlog. So, all right. Ooh, that's dirty. Okay, there we go. Okay. I saw you guys talking about Code Veronica. What about Code Veronica? I like to go counterclockwise. It's not really working for this one. Hold on a second, guys. One thing, pet peeve of mine, so sometimes like these threads get like plastic buildup on them, and it makes threading them really difficult. And then the other thing is there's also like plastic in the actual posts. So I'm going to take some, and that usually helps a little bit. I'm going to take some compressed air and blow them out a little bit. So the way I do that is I just go, move that out of the way. There we go. Because, yeah, one of my pet peeves is cross-threading. I really hate, if I can avoid it, you know, really don't like cross-threading if I can avoid it. Sometimes it's unavoidable, but let's see here. Yeah, that didn't really help. I think this might be cross-threaded a little bit, unfortunately. that one's good. Caught the threads on that one. Okay, those are good. Caught the threads on that one. That's good. Oh, there's a remake coming for Code Veronica? I loved Code Veronica, which I think is like an unpopular opinion, but that was actually the first Resident Evil I did a full playthrough of. Because I owned a Dreamcast. I didn't actually have a PlayStation growing up, so... Hey, all right, Zane Glorious, have a good one. Oh, you're in Japan. Okay, yeah. I should next time, you know, for this trip I did have like a lot of stuff on my agenda, but next time I go to Japan, maybe not next year, but maybe the following year, I'll definitely try and do like, yeah, meetup, because I know there's a lot of people who watch this channel that live in Japan, so will do. Okay, let's see if a game works on this. A game did work last time because, I mean, I know it just didn't have video. But now I should have video. And let's do good old Silent Hill. Dude, the inside of Silent Hill creeps me out. I mean, look at those eyes. That's so creepy. All right, let's go over to the capture and okay, it looks good. We don't have that. I guess that washout was just like the first time using some of the capacitors or something. That was really weird, but hey, it's loading pretty quickly. Looking good. Heck yeah. Yeah, Clock Tower. I haven't played Clock Tower. That is something I've wanted to play, but no memory card, that's fine. You guys getting audio? Let me know if it's too loud. I don't have the audio playing. I should get headphones. I just don't want there to be like a feedback loop. Okay, good. You guys hear the audio? Let me know if it gets too loud. Yeah, definitely want to try out Clock Tower. I've like played a little bit of it because I have it on like one of my, I think it's like my other PS1 with the, what do you call it? The optical drive emulator. I forget what you can hear. Okay, great. All right, so this is working. Let's actually start a game. Yeah, I can hear the disk drive working. Tito, next time we're in Japan, we have to roll the dice with our lives and get fugu. Oh, is that like fish? That like, is that the blowfish? You hear oh, no audio in the game? I can turn it up. I don't want to turn it up too high though. Can you hear the audio now, guys? Pufferfish, that's it, not blowfish. Okay, so this is working.
Cheryl? Is
What time is it? It's 8:16.
Where are you going? Hey, wait.
All right, so
stop.
Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, everything is working fantastic. Audio is good. Okay, fantastic. So we got a fully working PSOne, recapped and everything. Okay. I was planning to recap the other one, but it'll probably just take too long. I think I know what the issue is with the other one. So I think because obviously it's got like a loose power connector, so we're just gonna fix that and then call it a night, I think. But yeah, I'll have 2 working PS1s, which is awesome. All right, so this is a recapped one. I'm going to actually mark it as such. Hold on a second. I don't know if anybody has this, but I need to like make a database of the consoles that I refurbish. I've been basically like I also have like a nice like label maker, but basically I've just been putting a piece of tape on the console and putting the date and what I did. So let's see here. I need to do, all right, so today is 6/5/2026. I did a full recap and I did a full clean. I basically deep clean this console. So basically I just do that. I just kind of just do that, but I want to have like a database where I have like, you know, maybe like the serial number with the console and what I did and when I did it, just to keep track of everything. So if anybody does that, let me know. I was even thinking of like getting like a QR code or something to, you know, show all that stuff, all the information. You can just like scan the QR code and it shows for each console. I think that'd be pretty cool. And then maybe even like the video or the live stream that I did, whatever job. So, but before I do it, so basically just to kind of refresh for maybe people who weren't here in the beginning of the stream. So this is a different PS1. It's another broken one, but if you look, so I press, it doesn't get power. Well, let me show you. So it doesn't get power, but if I move the, there, see, okay, now it's getting power, and I'm basically moving the power jack. So I think there's probably just a cracked joint, and we're just gonna basically reflow that solder. Oop, oh God, that was just the controller. So we're just gonna reflow that, get it working, because we did see, this one does output video, but judging by the capacitors in the other console, they probably need to be replaced. So I do want to do that. Maybe I'll do that for a different stream. I kind of like having these weeks where I stream just because it allows me to do stuff that I wouldn't normally do because I just don't have time, because making videos just takes so much time. So this lets me, like, this has been on my backlog for years, and I'm just getting around to doing it. So I like having a week dedicated to just kind of doing these little jobs. There we go. Taking out the optical drive. Yeah, that's the one thing with these PS1s. These ribbons for the optical drive, man, they are in there tight. Very tight. All right, so, oh, yes. Oh my God, that's really, oh, wow. Let me see if you can, I don't know if you can see that. So this is the power jack right here. That is completely cracked. Oh yeah, that's a full-on. Let me get the macro view so you can take a very up-close look at it. Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. Let me do the side view. Yeah, this thing is like completely cracked. Look at that. Oh, they're both cracked. This one and that one. Let me get my pointer here. So we're just going to reflow that, and that should fix us right up. Yeah, so we got a big crack joint right here and a major crack joint here. So, yeah, wow. That should be an easy fix. I'm just going to reflow it with a lot of fresh solder. Oops. There we go. Turn on my fume extractor. Wow. Let me see. Is this thing like misaligned? No, they're pretty straight, so make that focused. There we go. Holy Toledo. Oh yeah, it's just like missing a lot of solder actually. Let that flow nicely. There we go. Get that flowing nice. You want to get it nice and heated all over so that it flows nicely. And this one looks good, but I'm just going to also put a little bit of solder in there. A little bit of flux. Make sure it looks nice and clean. That looks good. That looks very, very good. Just gonna do a little cleanup of the area. Oh, that looks gorgeous. Gorgeous. Yeah, that's much beefier. Looks good. All right, parsnip celery. Hey, thanks for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. Everybody, really appreciate it. Okay, let's see if this now works. Oops, retro tank, here we go. All right, so let's plug that to power. And this should just power on. Solid. Yeah, and I'm wiggling that connector and it is solid. Beautiful. Okay, I was gonna do a recap on this, but it's getting pretty late. What time is it? It is 8:25, so we're just gonna put this thing together and we'll call it a night. All right. So that was easy. So now I have two working PSOne Slims. Very exciting. There we go. Very exciting. And I do have a couple PlayStation mods videos in the works. So I kind of want to. Does anybody know if the I prefer leaded solder. It's just so much better. It flows so much nicer. That's just my opinion. And it's the right opinion. So, just kidding. It's just so much easier to work with leaded solder. Now, of course, most of the retro consoles use leaded solder, but I think right around like the PlayStation, Xbox, or PlayStation 2, Xbox time period is like when they started switching over to the lead-free stuff. But the leaded tastes better, that's for sure. West has the jokes. Don't taste your leaded solder, folks. Always try to catch the threads, guys. You don't want to cross thread. So basically you just like, you go counterclockwise until you feel the thread catch, and then you go screw it in. All right, so let's see if this plays a game. Actually, this one I have not tested a game because I wasn't able to power it. So let's see if this actually plays. Oop, I'm gonna grab Silent Hill from the other one. This time, actually, let's try. I brought Resident Evil 3 as well. Plug in the controller. All right, so we knew it turned on. Well, if we jiggled the power jack. Now it just turns on without doing that, so that's great. I hear the disc spinning. That's a good sign. Oh, let me turn off the... Oh, so, okay, the laser pickup is moving. I can hear it. Okay, this is definitely loading. Okay, it works. I might need to service the laser assembly. I'll put that in the note. So for the flux, I use two kinds. For most, I use this. Let me see here. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I got the same one, but it's this here. Let me go to the side table here. I use this. This is a no clean. This Kester 959T flux. I use that for most stuff, but then for like you know, if I'm soldering surface mount, you know, chips, I'll use this Amtech stuff. This Amtech VS213 ATF. This is good for doing, you know, doing like those, what do you call it? Or even like those ribbon cables that you solder to chips. That flux is really, really good, that paste flux. But yeah, so it depends on the job, but those are the two that I use. I use this Kester the most though, this no clean. Works really well. Oh, let's go back. So I hear the, okay, so it's working. Cool. So I'm probably gonna mod one of these and I'll probably sell one on my website. So, but I might actually mod both of them. We'll see. Definitely want to replace the caps on this one. I'm not going to do it today though. I'm going to put that in as a note. I use the same flux, the second one. Yeah, it's a very good, like, high quality flux. I only use it for kind of the more difficult jobs. I use it pretty sparingly just because it is so tacky, and once it gets spent, it leaves like a really sticky residue. So I don't like using it, but it works really well. All right, hey, this is working fantastic. Cool. Yeah, this one, definitely the optical drive is a little bit louder, and it appears to be a little bit slower, so. All right, so I should have the machine, yeah. Whew. All right, all right. Oh no, it's just a matter of preference. I like the liquid flux because a lot of the stuff that I solder are pretty small, so it works really well, and it doesn't leave like a lot of residue. That's why they call it like no clean flux. So I think it works really, really well. That's why I use it. You see me using it the most in my videos, but I do, like if I'm like desoldering like a Game Boy Advance chip, I'll definitely hit it with the Amtech and then use hot air to remove the chip. And then when I'm soldering it back into, you know, something else, I'll go ahead and use that same Amtech.
We've got to get out of here.
So.
What do you think you're talking about? I just lost my daughter out there. How dare you tell me to go back outside?
Come on. There we go. All right, all right. That's right. Now there's like a. There's something over here. There's like a. Let me see. Oh, there it is. Come on. Whew. Cool, so we got two, yeah, we had a little bit of a scare there, didn't we? With that first PlayStation. Yeah, that was a rookie mistake. Let's see here. Oh, my thermal paste, I use I try to, actually running out, I need to order some more. The Cryonaut. I use the Cryonaut from Thermal Grizzly. I mean, I don't know if it's like any better than like the Arctic Silver, but it's worked well for me. Okay, so cool guys. All right, so this works. Sorry. And yeah, but I think I'm gonna call it for tonight. I was supposed to stream another day today, but I just got so busy. I'm losing my voice here too. But yeah, no, thank you guys for, you know, joining in. Let me know like what consoles you'd like to see modded. I'm just kind of going through a backlog of consoles that I have like on my shelf that I just been meaning to refurbish because I have so many broken consoles that I need to refurbish. And my plan is to use the streams to do that. and then like all the extra ones I'm just gonna like list on my website, which I have to do. I mean, I haven't put any of the consoles on there yet, but I do plan on doing that. Let's see, is this guy still alive? Oh. Yeah, I'd love to get that PS2, like that tool dev kit. I don't have that. I definitely want one of those. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. They look cool. Oh, you know, I haven't tried using the liquid metal. Oh, all right, hey, take it easy, Wesk. I'll talk to you soon. But I have not used liquid metal. It kind of scares me a little bit because I feel like I mean, I watched like that PS5 teardown video years ago when it first came out, and like apparently it has like a special like surrounding so like that liquid metal doesn't leak out. But I guess if you keep your chip horizontal flat, it shouldn't. But I have not used liquid metal, so. But yeah, guys, I think I'm gonna call it a night. And yeah, no, thank you all for joining me. And yeah, no, I plan on doing this again. You know, I always remind people what my schedule is for this. So my plan is to do this like every 4th week. Although because of all the travel I've been doing recently, I'm like really backlogged. So I might do like just a ton of videos and not stream for a little bit longer, or not for like a little while more, just because I got so many videos I got to do, and the trip was a little bit disruptive. But yeah, again, thank you, and I will see you guys later.